Hey everyone, you are watching Otaku Movie Anatomy. Today is an episode for all the parents, and for those of you who aren't parents, you're gonna learn something, so stick around because we're talking about wolf children.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Otaku Movie Anatomy.
All right, get depressed.
Sad opening.
Yeah.
What a way to start this.
Yeah, it's been a good show, guys.
So hype.
See you later. This has been fun. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Otaku Movie Anatomy. My name is Jonathan. Remember to follow us. You can follow us on all the different things. YouTube, Twitter,
iPod.
Instagram, iPod. Look, you guys know this by now,
What are
okay?
iPods?
Anyways, you go to follow me at KaibaCat and also Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. And with a boob float to my left.
We'll talk about this.
This is
don't worry.
Nami from One Piece. Apparently, this is a collaboration between two artists, a sculptor and an underwater photographer. We believe, we don't know, but this is what we've gleaned from the box thus far, is that it actually floats in water.
Yeah,
and
upside down.
And we suspect that the floaties are in her voluptuous breasticles.
There's nothing to do with the
Yes.
show. We just are
Side
commentating.
Yeah, this is just something.
I happened to gift it to Max.
Yeah.
This is
She
what
just
happens.
knows me, you know. She just knows what I like. Art.
Oh, and you can follow him on Max
Oh.
Salts.
You can follow me on Max Salts and all the everythings.
Is it like, does everybody forget their name? Well, somebody forgets their name
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah.
I was
Usually it's me.
distracted.
Hey everyone, I'm Yuma. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Yuma Ninja.
And I am Michelle Chubby Bunny. You can find me everywhere on the internet at I am Chubby Bunny.
Of course, of course. All right, you guys, so we are talking about Wolf Children. This is a very slice of life anime. Something that's literally a film that is about raising children. If you've never had a kid, you're going to get a really good idea of what it's like by watching this movie.
Or having dogs.
Or
having
dogs.
dogs.
Or
Or having
just never,
puppies.
or never have any of those
Or
things
having
if
dogs
you
and
love your
kids
furniture.
at the same time. All right, we're going to tell you guys, this is another one of Mamoru Hosoda's films, which I think the only one we haven't covered now is Girl Who
Girl Who
Left
Left
Through
Through
Time.
Time.
Yes, so it's one of
We
his
should do that.
4.
There's a live action of that too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, there is.
We should
Max
do
do it
that.
next week.
All right, that one might come soon. He is considered the new Miyazaki, if you will. Like his films are very similar. They have a lot of the tone of Miyazaki. They're beautiful, very stunning works. This film came out in 2012 in Paris. Is actually where it came out first, and then it went to
Oh.
Japan. Yeah, a little
That's an
side
interesting
information.
place.
Yeah.
Is there a specific reason? Was there like a film festival?
It was a festival,
Yeah.
a festival. So this actually premiered in Paris instead of Japan, but then it came out in Japan in the same year, 2012, and it was actually up against in the same weekend Brave, the Disney film Brave,
Oh.
and it beat Brave.
Holy shit.
What?
Yes, it
I'm
made.
surprised.
Hey, I really
actually.
like Brave, but
I really love Brave, but that is 2 films about like parenting and
oh, that's true.
children,
Yeah,
or
and
somebody
turning into
turns
animals.
into
Someone turns
animals.
into animals.
Wow.
Spoilers.
Weird.
Interesting.
Weird coincidence.
And that was they were number actually. I think they were number 2 and 3 at the box office.
That's
Wow.
kind of a really great feat though, because like Japan loves the shit out of Disney. Like,
Yeah.
you could just
Who was
put
number
Disney
1?
on
Matt
something.
Damon?
No, it was probably Matt. It's
Matt
always
Damon
Matt
getting
Damon.
saved
Matt Damon.
from
Yeah.
some place.
It was his 12th born movie. Okay.
God damn it.
Yeah, so it actually beat out Summer Wars. Summer Wars made 1.6 billion yen. Wolf Children 4.2 billion yen.
Jesus.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
This is a very slow movie by Mamoru Hosoda. It's all about I think he was watching his his sister or something like
Yeah,
that
his
raise
sister's
children.
Kid, yeah.
Yeah, raise children. This is where the concept for this, and it really is. It's about raising children, but sort of a single
what a
mother
nightmare it is.
doing it all on her
I
own.
believe the quote she said was something like, she described raising children as raising wild animals because you can't predict what they're going to do, and they tear the
you
house
just gotta
apart.
do
So
the
he's like,
thing.
oh, what if I thought it was real?
And
I
as a
make movies.
father, I can tell you there is a lot of truth to this.
Yeah.
The film is really it's kind of a slower, like I said, slice of life anime. A lot of people actually compare it to Jane Eyre, a lot of Jane Eyre kind of stuff,
What?
just because it's
Really?
so very this is life.
it's very
nothing
flat,
fancy.
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it is a slice of life at the end of the day, and even though it's like a little bit dramatic, all of the magical, mystical parts about it, the fantasy elements, don't ever go above
Yeah.
that. You know,
Yeah.
there's never another mystical like wolf man that they find. There's no other
Which
like
I kind of
lost
was hoping they
clan.
would.
Yeah, I was
And then,
hoping they would.
Which
yeah, they never do
He
it.
finds
Yeah.
Sensei, but it's just a real wolf.
it just kind of
It's
very
a
much.
fox.
It just
Oh.
kind of very
Yeah.
much seems like if you had a child that had some sort of like deformity that you couldn't, or you were just afraid for them because they were like hyperactive, or like, you know, it portrayed it as like a real life problem as opposed to it being like a magical problem.
Yeah,
you know?
For me, like it was more like raising pets because I could relate to it having cats. But I wanted to say
Look at this.
Michelle just got a puppy.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know if you had any similar experiences.
There's just times when I'm like, I just hold it. I'm like, please stop being crazy. I don't know what to do with you. Like, you're just afraid of destroying somebody or yourself or your house.
Because there's a scene where like Yuki and Ame, like when they're in that apartment, they just like start chewing up the legs, and like the mom comes back and everything's like messed up, and she's like, "What happened?"
A dog, a kid, it's
But
very
I feel like
similar
kids
to
do that too.
Yeah, they do. They do. My
Yeah.
kids destroyed the couch today. Like, we can't buy nice things.
What?
We can't buy nice things.
Yeah, you
We
can't-
just, it's the truth. And that's my wife bought like a $20 pillow, and I was like, what the hell is wrong with you? This will never survive. And it
Dollar
has
store
not.
pillows only from now on, man.
Yeah. And so here we go. So here's a little bit of the trailer, you guys. Brief synopsis of the movie. Hana is our lead character. She falls in love with a werewolf or a wolf man. It's not exactly a
They don't really call him a werewolf in this. I think it's because he just turns into a full wolf. But he does. He can turn like half into a wolf as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
She's like
kinda,
an anthropomorphic furry wolf.
Yes. And so she falls in love with him, and he's just trying to like live a normal life. And then, of course, you know, they end up building a life together. They have kids because they do it, which we'll get to in a little bit. So they have
PG-13.
2 kids, and then he dies. And then the
Yes.
rest of the film, he
Tragic
dies in like
accident.
20 minutes. It's totally a Disney film in that aspect,
Yeah.
where they kill off one of the parents, usually both. But they kill off a parent, like Finding Nemo, except for it's the father instead of the mother. And then she has to raise her wolf children by herself. And that is essentially what this film is. Literally, she raises them up into their teenage years, and that's the end of the film.
I feel like I'm just looking at this trailer and it's very like exciting and kind of upbeat.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is the life. But the movie is nothing like this.
this. Yeah.
If there's one word that would describe the movie, it would be melancholy. It's
Yeah, it
melancholy
is.
throughout
Yeah.
the whole thing. Even like the peaks and the lows, it's always
It's all
the kind of
melancholy,
one
yeah.
tone.
I feel like I read a lot about this movie being very quiet, and a lot of filmmakers, especially like American filmmakers in Hollywood, are very scared of having moments where no one's talking.
Yeah.
But this film is just like embraces it, and there's just really beautiful scenes of like, you know, the fields and the scenery of just people just being sad in nature, you know,
Yeah.
or trying hard in nature, or just doing something in nature.
it's
but
very serene.
yeah, and I think if you're looking for that kind of movie, like, it's really great. But if you're not expecting that, if you're expecting like Summer Wars, it's not the same.
This
at
is
all.
not
The
Summer
tone is not
Wars
the
or
same.
Boy and Beast. Boy
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
Beast,
it's not that at all.
There's no big action scenes to speak of. There's no, you know, big bad guy they have to fight at all.
Yeah, like have a glass of wine and get ready to chill for like
And cry
2
a little
hours.
bit, a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, and that's essentially what this film is. And it's beautiful. It really touches. I mean, it really is a beautiful film. Once again, Mamoru Hosoda's films are beautiful. They always look stunning, and it feels like raising kids. And I have 2 kids, 4 years old, 2 years old. It really hit home on that one. And I know my wife, when she watches this, she's going to feel the exact same way, especially like this woman watching this, what this woman has to deal with. Hana, our protagonist, as a mother, her life is over, man. Whatever she wanted in life is gone. It's all about the
Yeah,
kids.
she never. I mean, she never spoke of having any kind of
She just when
just
she
kind of
had
like
kids,
dreams.
she was just like, well, I have kids now. And
Yeah.
no
She like
children.
stops, like she studies still, but like there's no
Oh, she had to drop out of
expectation.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no expectation of her going back to get her degree or anything.
Yeah.
She is now a mother, and that is her life. But in order to become a mother, you have to do something very specific, and you have to, a mother of wolf children, is you have to bump nasties
copulate, I
with
believe.
with the wolf man.
As mates,
so,
as they would
Yeah.
say in the
So-
animal kingdom.
so we're gonna throw this over for a segment we like to call "Furry Love" to Yume.
So
Or
what bothers
you're
me the
furry
most
now.
is that like it's pretty, it like happens like almost right after he shows her that he's like a werewolf.
Real quick.
It's like real quick, and he's like, "Are you scared?" And she's like, "No," but he's still a wolf. And so I was kind of like, "What did she just like bang the dude in like full wolf
Full wolf
mode?"
form.
But like half wolf.
You know why
They-
though?
they-
face
well,
was
that means
still-
that they
But,
had
You
to
know
do
why
it.
though?
They did it doggy style. Is
Wolf
what they
dick.
did.
Oh my god.
That's why.
Like
Wolf
they
dick.
like make out, and I was like, did he have to stay in wolf form for
Well,
them
they
to
do
do it?
explain in the children that, you know, the children, when they get excited, they turn and they you know. So he was just excited.
He was super excited.
He was excited to finally do it with the girl.
Just see
It was-
wolf horny.
Well, we don't know if he
but
has
I mean,
had a
like,
girlfriend before.
See,
We
that's
don't
the weird
know.
thing. Is like, is that like his half wolf form? Because it's like, you know, it doesn't seem like, at least from most of wolf children, like it doesn't seem like they have a half form.
They do.
Really.
They do.
Oh, I guess they
Yeah,
do.
they do.
When the
But,
girl's
like,
throwing
towards
her
the end-
tantrum and
Yeah, towards the end, it just seems like they just have a full.
no, the
they just
girl
go from-
when she reveals to her high school for her
Yeah,
college
she
school,
just,
she just does the face, yeah.
Yeah, so they can go just like, you know, pieces.
Half
Oh,
wolf.
okay,
Half
real
wolf.
quick, do we have anyone in the chat right now? I'm just so curious if we have anyone. Like...
no one's speaking, but we have people watching. For
Okay,
shows.
great.
I don't
Okay.
know why they wouldn't. I mean, I feel like this is
We're
a
talking
compelling
about-
topic.
Yeah, we're talking about wolf human sex. Like, so if he can
Yeah.
just change portions of his body, maybe he just changed like the top because she like, you know, wants like something to grab, like the hair.
Oh,
but, like,
God.
but, like
That's
left
real
the
kinky.
bottom
But, like,
half.
you know what
like,
really turns me
normal,
on?
Like man style.
Furries, like
Just
that's
kidding.
you know, like that's his 4chan.
Maybe we'll get more viewers if we go on to.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
see, now they're talking. I love this.
Now
start
they're talking.
Wolf dicks are barbed, so that sounds like a horrible time. Says
See?
Blake
Wait,
F.
no, those are cat dicks.
It was a cat. It
Those
was
are
Are
a
they?
cat
cat
too.
dicks. No,
Okay.
wolf dicks don't have
If
Hold
you
on,
guys
let
are
me Google
watching
it.
right now,
I
we
think.
want to
I
Google
don't
this.
know. I'm not an expert in
Now
wolf dick.
we're veering off track a little bit to figure out how the anatomy is going
This
to
is
work
important though.
with
Yeah.
the wolf.
I'm now googling dog penises, so just give me like 2 seconds.
Not dog
Okay.
penis,
And
wolf
just-
penis.
And this
Look at
is
this
also
question.
going to be in your search history.
Why do dogs get stuck together when they finish doing it on Yahoo Question? Hold on, I gotta go. I guess hold on. I got
penises.
sidetracked.
It was really disturbing to me because I'm like, wait, like, did she want it that way or like, did he have to? Like,
Well, I
it
mean,
was
I guess
so confusing.
It's the whole like it's the excitement thing. Like then you're like, oh, okay.
Oh
So,
God.
the weird thing. Well,
Oh.
no barbs though.
You
There are
told-
no barbs.
I don't
Alright.
see any bars in this dog penis I'm looking at right now, so I think
we
we're
are not going to show you any of the
Why
pictures
did I
that are
Google
on her
this?
computer
Oh,
screen.
By
I
the
hope
way,
Facebook
this is
doesn't remember
this
that
is
I
a
looked this up.
PG movie, and we just turned it into an NC-17
Yeah.
movie.
So you know they don't actually show any graphic
Penetration.
section.
Yeah,
There's
they
no
don't.
no
Yeah.
graphic
It's silhouettes.
nudity. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all
It's
very
not
sweet.
even silhouettes. It's really
it's like
just like
it's like shoulder up.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's like full on like half wolf, and she's like just kind of there.
She's not wearing
I'm
clothes.
Not scared.
You
And I was
see
like,
shoulders.
I guess it's very much like, oh, like, okay, if I'm going to think about it like symbolically or whatever, it's just like, she's accepting him for who he is, and I
Yeah.
get that as
Yeah.
a scene.
Sure.
nice.
It still doesn't, unfortunately, because of all the anime that I've watched so far, can I get past the fact that she just wants to bang a wolf? Like, that's just, it
Yeah.
just
It's not
unfortunately
even.
doesn't-
It's like a non-issue in this film. And to be fair, so I read a lot of reviews for this movie before it came because I just want to see what people thought. And so many people were just like, "Oh, like this is it, everything is for kids except for this scene. Like, you don't want kids to watch this." I'm like,
Come on,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not really.
"It's
like,
not that bad. Like, it's not like
It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not
I
like
mean,
a
we're
lot of
making
other
a
anime.
much bigger deal of it right now than
Yeah.
it
just
actually
because
is.
We were
just to make
surprised.
fun of it,
It was
but I mean
surprising.
in part of the movie it's like like he reveals that he's a wolf, and then
Yeah.
they like show their love.
the way they
Yeah.
do it is it's
Whatever.
very, very tastefully, and it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
very
And then-
innocent in the
Yeah.
way that it's presented.
Yeah, especially when he like mounts her in the back. It's
Nope,
just like,
nope,
how
nope.
is the moon?
Making up shit now.
All right,
Making up
so
stuff.
That doesn't happen.
so they do that. They have one child, and then this is actually really interesting because they realize that their child is going to be part wolf, or what's it going to be. They have no idea what
quarter
this.
wolf.
Yeah, they have no
Yeah.
idea what the
Right?
child is going to
yeah,
be
quarter.
like.
Half, right?
Quarter, yeah, technically, right? So they don't know what this child is going to be like or how it's going to be like. It's really fascinating at that moment because you're like, oh my gosh, like what this film could go any direction now. And then so they have one kid, then immediately have a second kid. Like I guess
They don't show
Like,
it happening.
no, but
literally.
you
Yeah.
get it while the getting is
Like
good.
animals.
And then the father, who literally to show you how much he is not important in this film, he doesn't have a name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a no
He's
name.
Wolf Dad.
He's just
Yeah,
a
he just-
guy. He's just your dad.
Feels like an
dude.
80s movie, Wolf
It's
Dad.
literally like your dad. That's like the way that it's presented, or my
Yeah.
father, because it's Yuki telling the narrating.
And
Which
for
is
the whole
weird,
film,
by the
it's
way.
my
Yeah.
dad, my dad, your father, your dad, never has a name. And so after the second child is born, he is out in his full wolf form, and they don't even show how he dies. He's just dead.
yeah, he's like in a ditch.
Dead, yeah, like
Dead
full
in
on.
the ditch.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he drowned or something.
Yeah.
Maybe he like got swept up because it's like a rainy day and there's a lot of
Yeah.
like
And
there's, like,
current
feathers
flowing.
on him.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think it's also because one of the kids, Ame, the little boy, the second child, he gets in this kind of similar accident, and so maybe
That's
that's
right,
what they're
that's
trying
good.
to allude to.
Yeah, that he drowned. Because like you just see these like Japanese trash dudes like picking him from the. It was just so shocking to me. That was like the
Yeah.
most shocking part of the
This
movie.
was the most shocking part of the film.
It was real messed up. I mean, like, there's, you know, like, you see animes full of messed up things, but this one was just, like heart-wrenchingly
it was very
horrible.
cold and heartless. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So like what happens is they find him in a ditch. These two Japanese trash dudes pick him out of this ditch, and then full on put him in the trash compactor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't even
And
have
then
like
you
a
see-
second to think
you
about
see,
it. Yeah,
you see the
it.
trash compactor push
Yeah.
up and the door closed, and she's like hysterical and trying to
Yeah.
like talk to the
Hana is
guy.
like she has a kid on her back and she's holding
Yeah.
the child in
Oh,
front,
yeah.
and she runs to the trash machine, and like the people standing around are like, "What? Are you so upset about
Yeah.
this?"
What's up? We
for?"
just
Yeah.
we threw the dead dog.
Yeah,
in.
and
What's your problem?
my immediate thought was like, why didn't don't they have animal services or something to come pick up a corpse or something?
No,
Like it
absolutely
was just
not.
like
They lit-
throw it in the trash compactor.
Yeah, and turn it on, crush that
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
Which
Lord.
I'm assuming like it that was on purpose, you know?
Yeah.
It's just to
Yeah.
show that like no one will ever know about like their relationship. No one will know about like this kind of super
Supernatural.
special existence basically, you know, because he's part of like a long dead clan of which I'm assuming is like, you know, when it was ancestral, you know, like
Yeah.
more
It was a bit more
religious, like
mystical.
kind of like
Yeah.
it kind of makes sense in more of like a Shinto religion type of like supernatural way.
He was a dying breed.
He was a dying breed, and then he died, and then he got
And
bread.
then extinct.
Turned into bread.
This turned into bread. Well, so this is the thing about it too, about that moment, which is the most shocking moment in the whole film. It's that it's a moment that I almost felt like I should cry, but it is so shocking.
Yeah.
That Michelle, we were talking about this, that you leaves you kind of going, what the F?
You
Yeah.
just go, holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, and Hana is just an absolute wreck, absolute wreck. Now she's stuck with these two kids, raising them in the middle of a city where she has to keep her kids hidden. She has to do it all on her own.
Yeah.
So, you know, hubby can't even go out and kill a pheasant anymore.
Yeah, and then like she has no idea how to raise these kids because they're like werewolves, and so it was but that moment it was just like wow, like there's no point where you could actually react,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because then like after that they just move right on. And I was
Yeah,
just like,
and they keep it like, because you know Hana's whole thing when she's introduced as a character, she's kind of like she's talking to Wolf Dad, being the dad, and she's like, yeah, like I had a father and he told me to always stay smiling, so even at his funeral I was smiling, and people thought that was weird because I just knew that I had to try hard no matter what. She said something very Japanese, but like, you know,
Yeah, it
she's
is
like,
very Japanese, yeah.
I must keep a smile on my face no matter what may happen. I'm like, all right,
Hold your emotions in.
you just live that life because that's I don't know.
You just crush that despair, you know.
Push it down until it comes out
Yeah.
later in a real weird way. But
exactly.
but in
yeah.
Japanese films
And
that
then
never
you
comes
turn
out.
into Elsa, and
Yeah.
that's how Frozen happened.
And that's how Frozen happened. Well, and for you guys, then we go into like the major portion of her trying to raise the kids in the city, and
Oh,
like the
man.
neighbors having issues with them. They,
That's
they
so
think she has
sad.
pets.
Yeah.
That was so
And
anxiety.
social
inducing.
Yeah,
services.
yeah. I did feel
She's
like-
got like social services coming after her. And
Yeah.
I want anyone in the chat who's a parent. I don't know if we have any parents in the chat right now, but there's a part where she is like, I think she's like doing laundry or something, and she's literally just falling asleep.
Yeah.
And that was so reminiscent for me as a father. Like, oh my gosh, I remember that. Just being like my wife and I both walking around like zombies. And so if you guys are out there, any parents, please feel free. We'd love to hear some thoughts and stories on how that resonated with you, because I just felt as a parent that was
I feel like
that was life.
From my own
Or-
experience, like I have a lot of younger siblings, and then I also raised a lot of my younger cousins. Like the part where she's just kind of doing everything. Like my older sister and I, we were like that. We were maybe like 5 or 6 when we started taking care of every other cousin that was younger than us in our entire generation. And I was like, yeah, it's exhausting. Like when the kids are out of control or they're hungry or like Yuki's like crying for no reason, like. I can't imagine what it's like to be an adult, but I can definitely imagine what it's like to be another kid taking care of kids. And I'm just like, shut the F up.
Just
Yeah.
don't die. Be quiet.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just don't
Yeah,
die.
because
Don't
I mean,
just do me
when I
just
was
don't
younger,
die
like
today.
I don't know what it's like as a parent, but like when my cousins and my siblings would get injured, I'd be like, shh, don't tell mom. It's just like,
It's
you're
our
fine.
secret. Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
You
And
don't
they
have to go to
show
the hospital. It's okay.
that part where I guess Yuki finds she like eats silica pills
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
silica
that's
gel,
right.
and so she finds her, you know, on the floor like throwing up.
This is great. I love this
And
part.
she's just like, oh my god, and then like kind of the voiceover is like, you know, I didn't know whether to take her to the vet or the hospital. It has this very dumb scene where
Yeah.
she's
Where
standing at a crossroads
yeah.
with a vet in a hospital, but
It's just so very
she's just kinda like,
conveniently.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's of like the same branch, you know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That makes
Same
sense.
doctors.
Yeah.
And then she ends up just going to a payphone and calling like a poison control line or whatever.
Which I feel is a little irresponsible
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
owning a dog or a
She,
child.
she calls. It seems like she first calls a hospital, then she calls a vet.
No, she just calls one person. She just calls poison control.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
says it's her daughter. Which
But
I'm
I
assuming
mean-
still applies to dogs
I guess
as well.
actually I don't know if they clarify, but
Yeah, because it seemed like.
No, she says
She
her
calls-
daughter is 2 years old. That's what
Oh,
she
okay,
says.
Yeah, so
okay.
she said
Oh,
daughter.
okay. Because, so I've actually had this happen. My cats ate a bag of silica. And,
fucking animals.
and then and we noticed it, like, hours later, by the way. Hours later. And then, just yacked it up. And I was like, there's silica gel in this. And I was like, well, they're fine. It makes me seem very irresponsible, but they got into it. And I didn't even notice. So, after watching that, I was like, she'll be fine. Just throw it up. I was like, I know this.
I love that
Experience
this is a
mother,
moment
yeah.
you're like, shit, yeah, for done.
Yeah,
kill,
she
whatever.
just throw it
She'll
up.
be good.
So social services is coming after Hana now because
Which, by the way, the only social services that we've ever seen in any anime ever.
Yeah, ever.
point. That is a
Because
very
there are a lot of anime children living alone
yes.
in anime.
Like, I love that even in Pokemon, you're like, you're 12, go live,
Get out.
get out of
Get
here.
out.
you
I
know?
also feel like in anime, it's not child service. It's always like a police detective. Like there's someone very important that comes over and is like, "You're my son now."
Like Lilo
There's-
and Stitch.
Yeah, there's no actual service, which I'm sure there is in Japan, and this is it's even a little scarier that way because there's
Yeah.
2 of them, and they did this what I feel like is a very Japanese thing where they're politely trying to force themselves.
Yes.
into
They're like,
the
if we
door.
could just see the children, please.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we don't want to make troll for you. It's like, dude, you're basically trying to pry open the door with your
Yeah.
bare hands.
Yeah. Which is you're not allowed to do without.
And of
was-
course,
yeah.
the scene behind her is she closes the door and it's them sleeping in dog form.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, oh man, she's always in danger of
Yeah.
something. And I had a Tamagotchi once, and that, to me, it's like there's
Can
so
you tell our
much
ages by
anxiety.
watching this, guys?
I
You
love
know?
the level in which all of us are able to relate to this parenting. 'Cause
Yeah.
Yes.
You're the only actual
parent, yeah.
We are pet parents.
And I had a
We
Tamagotchi.
Max takes care
And
of
a
only video
Digimon.
games.
And so, I know how it feels. They're always evolving into the thing you don't want it to be. He's always
Disappointment.
pooping
You're like, damn it,
everywhere.
now I have to kill this thing. And restart it.
Reset.
So, what her solution, because things are going horribly wrong in the city, is to take her wolf children and to move to the wilderness.
Country.
To the country, to a secluded, they say there's no town for many, many miles, you're totally secluded, and she's like, that's where I'm gonna live with
I
my
love
wolf
that
That's
scene
perfect.
where they're transitioning, they're in the car and she's speaking to the real estate guy because they basically have the voiceover is all the negative things that the real estate guy is saying, and then what you see visually is just beautiful,
beautiful, yeah.
mountainscapes, lakes, rolling hills, and it's just and you get that sense of sereneness that you kind of never got from when they showed the scenery in the city.
In Tokyo, yeah.
So I really like the intro was very nice, and then they get there and she's gonna take that fucking house. There's no question about.
My one
know.
thing that I thought was super weird was that she seems to have what, in my eyes, appears to be unlimited money. Because that house was so dilapidated. It was falling apart. And she fixed all of it into the super pristine looking home. And you're like,
She didn't have a job.
she didn't have a
Yeah.
job.
Well, they said she had savings.
She has savings. She used
Yeah,
hers
she
and
said-
her husband's savings.
Yeah, meager savings, which I feel is still kind of not enough to
Was, so much
develop a whole
savings.
house.
And
But
then,
I mean-
and raise 2 kids.
Yeah.
'Cause
They
I
were
think they could
3
eat in
and
a while,
6,
huh?
I want to say, at that point. They were
little
when
bit
she
older,
moved. She
yeah.
was had been, and you
were
kind of get the
4 or
feeling that
5.
Yeah,
you
they're
kind of get
4 or
the feeling
5.
the husband
Yeah.
dies right after she has the second kid.
Yeah.
So she's been living on her savings for how many
2-3
years?
years.
Yeah.
So the kids are 3 and 4 because Yuki turns 5 and goes to school.
Yeah.
Well, I thought she turned 6 and goes
Oh,
to school.
was it 6?
Because they don't go to
Fact
preschool.
check.
They go to kindergarten, or Yuki goes to kindergarten. She doesn't go to preschool.
Oh yeah, they're
Okay,
5
yeah.
and 4 and 5.
Yeah, so they live out there, and there's a couple nice humorous moments of them sort of figuring it out, and Ame is super nervous and he's shy and he's scared and he's not really figuring
Very
out.
sickly.
Yeah, and Yuki is this power child, always headstrong,
He
going
was so
forward.
cute. She was chasing away the boars in the neighborhood,
Yeah.
or And then there's a scene later where the neighbors are like, "Wow, how are you growing these things? The boar got to all of ours. Like, what are you doing?" And she's like,
And then Yuki like runs in and is like, gotta pee, and I was like, it's because she's marking her territory.
Yes. Oh, she even says it was one of
said
the
she
best
says-
lines
yeah.
because she says, "I saw a boar and I peed on him and I."
"Oh yeah, that's right."
Oh, speaking of doing a stupid voice, I was just doing. The voices, all the voice acting was totally cool in the dub. However, you brought up a point that I was thinking, and Michelle totally hit. I think hit it on the head.
I love you, Funimation. You've done so much great stuff for
Wonderful.
anime in America, and I love you. But y'all kind of cast like the same 5 guys and everything, and it really takes me out of the movie to hear. I can't remember the name of the actor, but like the wolf father,
Yeah.
and then the main character from the Boy and the Beast, the Beast,
Yes.
same guy. Like he's in every movie. You know, maybe it's his choice. Who knows? It's the director's choice from the Japanese version. But like it's just I'm like, oh, it's that same guy, or like. It's hard for me to listen to the dialogue when I can hear the voice of another character coming through, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a little distracting.
Wonderful voice actors.
You know, yeah, it's
wonderful voice
it was
actors.
good voice
It's
acting,
just-
but I think sometimes, you know, I'm always one of those people that's like, I don't really like watching dubs. Because one of the problems, there's so many issues to deal with when tackling, you know, translating. You're not just translating what they're saying. You had the trouble of matching the mouth flapping. You have to, you know, keep intonation for Japanese words that you probably don't know, and the director probably doesn't know, like, natively. And then also, like, when you directly translate some of the shit they say in Japanese, when it comes out in English, it sounds so fucking weird and corny. Like, the thing, like, I keep a smile on my face no matter what happens. You're just like, what the fuck is happening with your face? Like, it sounds really stupid and corny.
Having
so
a
it's
good
hard.
scriptwriter who could actually like translate.
Yeah,
it.
so
it's
it's a
so
lot of
hard to do
problems,
sometimes. But and that's also why a lot of the times in the English versions, the American versions, you'll find like these weird like pauses and breaks. They're called hitches. So you'll find like a hitch in the middle, you know, of something of a sentence. You'll be like, hey. How are you doing? Weird hitches, like they're just.
They're waiting for the flappy.
Yeah, the next flap has to come, and it's weird sometimes.
Yeah,
but,
so it's hard to judge it on just the execution.
Yeah,
It's not just
but
that.
still,
yeah.
regardless of that, for any of you who's not watching a ton of Funimation products, like especially Mamoru Hosoda's stuff, like then you won't be as familiar with some of the voice actors here.
Sure.
So it will totally. I mean, it's a great dub. It's a really good dub. It's just knowing the same actors in all these things is a little like, oh.
I feel like
To be
know that voice too
fair,
much.
though, like even with Japanese voices, I still get that. 'cause,
Yeah, I
you know,
still
Sure,
get that.
sure.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
you know, it all kind of like rounds itself out in a weird way. I think just because with Japanese you don't understand it, so you're always a little bit more forgiving. Also, the mouth flaps clearly is the visually.
Yeah, that's the huge
Like you
issue.
still,
Yeah.
the whole thing about this movie is like you don't want anything to take you out of the mood.
Yeah.
Like it relies so heavily on having this tone that like without it, like you change the music. You change the color, you change the pacing, and it becomes a completely different movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it becomes like this movie is more about just life, and you know the mediocrity of it in a weird way. You know, it's just like a normal life. And if you cut things together in a different way, it could be about like exploring the wilderness and exploring
Sure.
your wild side, or it could be about it just being like a high school life. You
Yeah.
know, like a girl trying to find her identity. Like there's so
It's all
many,
those things, but
it's,
yeah.
it's so many different parts, but because it's woven together in this way, it makes it cohesive. Like it would be if one story had more attention than another story, which to be fair, Yuki's story has a little bit
She
more.
has more attention.
a little
to
bit
it.
more.
Yeah.
But even Ame's story I thought was like super interesting, you know, because it's
I wanted to see this movie was long enough, like I
Yeah.
mean, but I almost was like, oh, why is it one of those weird 3-hour Japanese movies where we could see like lots and lots of stuff of like what else are they doing? And I think it's because the way the movie's paced. I think it's because they shown everyday normal stuff being so interesting, like her cleaning the house. I was like, damn, you clean the house, girl. How are you
nice.
gonna fix that floorboard? Oh shit! Like I was real interested in this very mundane. That's why they call it slice of
they're-
life.
they're- some of the best parts is like when they're working in the
Yeah,
field.
on the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or learning how to grow crops.
Yeah.
Which is the grandpa.
From the
I
salty
gotta
old
get his
man who
name.
doesn't
What's
know how
his
to
name?
harvest.
Say it again.
Nirasaki.
Nirasaki. Yes.
Yeah.
There's this old like angry man who's like that you know that man who like is really mean to you but secretly loves you
He's
to
such a
death.
tsundere.
Yes,
He's like, I
yes.
don't like
He's a
you.
tsundere. Yeah, and he.
Because, like-
old man.
Hana's like having a lot of problems growing crops, and so he comes and he helps her, but in like he helps her in a mean way, and he makes sure that she does all the work herself. But like
Like a good stern Japanese father
but
should.
he basically enables her to learn how to grow her crops, and then she finds out later that like he's very like nice to her and he likes her a lot and he's talking to other people about her, but he's very stern in front of her.
Yeah.
It was like very cute.
It's,
Yeah.
I think it's like
He's a great
it's such a
character.
Japanese thing that's like you have to earn respect by not by not it's like you
giving
earn
up.
respect by doing your best on your own and not expecting people to notice or looking to other people for help. You do it all by yourself. You never ask for help. You just Google everything. This girl just got like books out of like a book van, like a traveling library. By the way, what the hell is that about?
That's how she raised her kids. By
Yeah,
the way.
she just got out wolf books and farm books.
There's a book where it's like raising wolves, and it's like
Who wrote this book?
Who has a book about raising wolves? Who has a bunch of wolves in
Or,
their
like,
backyard?
There's
It's
a
out there
sanctuary where
somewhere.
they happen to have one wolf, even though there's
Yeah.
no wolves in Japan. I was like, all right.
Man.
That's right. The Sanctuary of the
Yeah,
One
it was
Wolf,
like a Timberland wolf too.
Yeah,
so
it was
like
literally
totally
like
European.
it was like a European wolf.
They said
And
it
there
was.
then there was one
zoo.
wild wolf. The one
No, it
wild
was a
wolf.
fox.
That was a
oh, it was
fox.
a
I
fox.
thought it was a wolf too. I didn't know the
Okay,
difference.
but though Master of the Forest, Foxman, totally dope. I really like the Foxmaster.
Huh?
I
Oh.
thought he was a really cool character.
So Ame is he's the boy who's timid and scared. Then he almost drowns, similar to his father's. And I love that you put that together. And he's sort of reborn in a big way. And he really connects to the wolf side of himself. And Yuki more connects to, you would think would be the wolf side. She ends up being more the human side. And he learns everything about being a wolf by having the Foxmaster in the wilderness teach him. And so he ends up living out in the woods more. And since we're getting closer to the end here, he ends up leaving his mother and sister to go live in the wilderness.
So this is actually one thing I feel like they did not wrong. I wish they did different, because the whole thing is they really just gave them two options. It's either you're human
Oh, yeah.
or,
Or
you're
you're
a
a
wolf.
wolf. Yeah.
But you're never. But it doesn't make any sense because the father wasn't.
both.
Yeah, he was
he's
both.
both.
Yeah.
And the fact that like she wouldn't recognize that and was just like, I just want them to do their own thing. Like, if we all, parents are supposed to kind of guide you in doing that, like,
Yeah.
you can't just be like, yeah, you do your own thing. It's like, well, I guess I'll just do heroin, like that's not, you're not.
I guess I'll just do heroin.
But
she was totally flawed as a mother, and
Yeah,
which I
sure.
thought was realistic too, because she was kind of like that. But then once he started like being more of a wolf, she was like, "No, you got to stay home. She's
Yeah.
like, I'm not letting you go."
Yeah.
And then she almost killed herself going out to
yeah,
like.
she had to like go see Jesus to realize
Yeah.
like she had to
Which
let
is
her
also,
son do what
which
he
is
wanted
also
to
super
do.
shitty, by the way, is like your mom just literally like climbed up this fucking raining
Yeah.
typhooned mountain for
To
you.
find
Yeah.
you, yeah.
And the only thing you can do is just be like, see ya, bitch. like,
I
It
carried
literally
you into a
was.
parking lot. Have
Yeah.
fun with that shit.
it's like I have to go and be a wolf now. Like I got to be a wolf man. Like I have to be out, and that's like. I feel like that's ridiculous because it's like you're still human. That
Yeah.
means that you're still going to live a human life, though you are a wolf adult. You can visit your mother
yeah,
anytime.
I didn't
sounds
understand
stupid.
that.
I'm like, can't you come say hi? Like,
Yeah.
come home on the weekends, give your mom a fucking email. Like, come on,
Like,
man.
Yeah, because
You
I
shitty
thought
child.
the point is like it's like these three people like raising each other, like they're all trying to like come up as a family, and basically all the children leave like immediately.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
soon as they
Like,
turn into teenagers.
Yuki
She
goes
leaves in
to-
middle school.
In middle school,
Yeah, she goes
And-
off to another school.
Yeah, and
to-
Ame
Yeah.
is 10, and he just straight up leaves. So, like, they're just basically this mother that has raised them.
Giving up
since they were
everything.
little wolves.
Yeah.
They're giving up her dreams and everything like that, and they're just like, see ya, Mom.
But
Okay.
I guess
We're
but you know what
independent
though?
now.
Like as a parent, we got someone in chat. What do we got?
Oh yeah,
Michelle?
Blake mentioned something directly related to that. He was like, it was kind of weird to me that she was basically done raising her kids in their early teens. I need my parents more than ever at that point. So there's that.
But you
And
know what? They
then-
did say that the wolves they would actually be in terms of age older.
Yeah.
But see, that was.
But that still
like,
doesn't really-
To me, it didn't make any sense because they're half wolf. So it doesn't matter if they're 10 in wolf years. They're half. So like half that. So
maybe
like
they're,
he's still like very young.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand when she was like, okay. And I
So
was
like when he's 20, he's
couldn't
like,
stop.
oh shit, I can't read that. Fuck.
Yeah,
I
you
would
know?
really like to get a McDonald's.
He's
I can't
like,
read the damn
"Damn it,
menu.
better
Like,
stay wolf."
so
Well,
that's.
what else do they got in the chat? What do they-
Dinah Sonrisa, she said two funny things. One is like, I love this movie, but it's so hard to explain it to my friends
Yeah,
and family.
I understand
It's
that,
true.
Yeah.
Furries.
And then she
Furries
also,
and love.
She also mentions that the ending made her cry because their mother was so heartbroken, but I was happy because he was where he needed to be. And they do a whole scene about like this is why
Right.
he needs to be this.
And the whole
place.
thing is, he can still be there and not
And
have
say-
to straight up abandon
Sure.
his
His mom,
family.
yeah.
Like
That was
that's
a
the whole
little
thing.
weird.
I think this movie would have definitely like been better if they had an epilogue, like just a brief epilogue of them being like sitting together as they're older as a family.
Yeah.
Because the whole movie is told from a point of view of kind of a flashback from Yuki's perspective as an adult. She's basically like, when I was like, this is the story of how my mother and my father met. Like, so you're like, okay, this is how the movie's starting. I assume at some point we'll flash back forward to present day and see where this bitch at. Nope. Never. And that's weird. I'm like, why even do that?
To
then?
me,
Why even have a narrator?
It really disconnected the movie from me because, like, to be honest, I felt nothing at the end. I was like, okay. Because, like, I was like, so this is this 10-year-old boy who decided he's like an adult wolf and he's gonna go live on his own, and like his mom's like, okay, bye. And I'm like, that's what is that realistic?
He's also cognitively 10 too. He's clearly not like thinking about it in like an adult way. Like she's thinking about it like a 10-year-old would. Like, I gotta be a wolf now. Like,
and also like in a primal way. But I think. So you're saying like it didn't make you cry. I think the only reason it made me upset was because I was like, but this is like, it doesn't matter how old you are. Like I think the point is more like this is going to happen to all parents. Like your children will grow up and they will leave you and they will never call or email again. And
I guess
I'm kind of a shitty child, so I kind of like felt bad about that after watching it.
They didn't want it to be 3 hours long, so they cut it. So they left them a little younger. But that's the truth. Like I think about that with my kids. Like they're gonna choose to leave someday or not, and and then I may be like, get the fuck out of my house. But no, the truth is like they may, like, and that's something I have to accept. Yeah. And granted, in here, I think it was really difficult for her as a mother to let them go really so
dramatic.
young.
Yeah.
I mean, she nearly killed herself
have no
trying
family
to keep
bye.
him.
Like Jesus.
So
so ungrateful.
And I mean, granted,
oh shit, is that me? Oh shit.
It was like sure she had kind of came to acceptance pretty quickly, but they had to sort of end the film, I guess. So.
Which I don't know. I still think that there was a tasteful way to do it. I think he had a vision, which kind of like it's hard to argue the ending either because like I get what he's going for, but still it's really hard for me to like look at this toil of this woman and have it just end that way.
Yeah, it didn't seem like, to me it felt like she learned not really anything. She wasn't rewarded in any sort of way. Like she couldn't even see her kids grow up. But I feel like most parents feel like fulfilled once their kids do something with their lives. She couldn't do any of that. So I was like, what was the point of this? Like I felt like it was so pointless.
That is kind of sad. Let us hear your thoughts on the ending, guys, because I do feel like I do agree that. Man, it's kind of a thankless job, man. Being a parent sometimes. I'm like, at least in our society, I feel like you said, you can see your kids grow up more and stuff, God willing. And so that's kind of sad. Favorite moments from the film. And we want to hear you guys in the chat room some of your favorite moments after we do some of ours. Favorite moments or scenes or character from the film.
I felt that. Like it wasn't a happy scene or anything, but I felt I could feel like the heated emotion of when Yuki's confronted by this new classmate who is pressuring her.
Sohei.
Like, hey, why don't you like? Because he's basically like, hey, you kind of smell like dog. Do you have dogs? And she's just freaking out. She's like, he's gonna find out. Yeah. He knows that I'm a dog.
But also because she was trying to be as human and like feminine as possible.
And so what happens is he kind of
just, like,
he pushes way too hard. He follows her around the school and is like, hey, why don't you like me? Why do you like me? Why do you like me? And she's basically like verbally raping her. Like it's
it was really rapey. Very rapey.
Yeah, and then finally they're like outside of the school, like she's like in a corner. He backs into her corner, and he's like, and I think he kind of grabs her on the shoulder. He touches her in some way.
He like grabs her arms and like they kind of tussle.
And so then she swipes him.
Yeah, and then she turns into a wolf and like bloodies him up. And like that scene, like the way it built, it was. I felt all the anxiety she had. I was like, oh god, what's gonna happen? And then like it happens, like, oh fuck, is he dead?
But also another thing that kind of weirdly bothered me is like how she kind of reveals that she was that wolf, and it's like you see, there's kind of like a weird love interest thing going on, but like. There was also the whole thing of like him just wanting to like run away and become like an adult himself because of his parents, which they never.
Oh, that was a weird throwaway. I was like, I've never seen it happen.
They built it up into this thing, and then it just
didn't pan out.
Nothing happened to it.
Well, I'm saying I think it was a well done scene to build up to that moment. It was very it felt very real, and I felt like damn, this director knows what he's doing.
This is dumb. I like when they're little kids and then like. She's basically like shaking her head and turning into like a little wolf child, or she's like excited. And like I was watching it with my fiance, and I was like, "See, this is my dream. Like I just want you to come home one day, and I'm gonna have a bunch of little kittens waiting for you." I was like, this is the best.
On everything, wanting to be fed, demanding that they be fed. But that part was cute.
It was so cute. They were so cute.
They were like little puppers still.
Yeah.
The kids were drawn so like tiny.
Yeah, and they're just like, yay!
And I
like,
love they could run like this and then he'd be like,
yeah, it was
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah, my favorite part. Actually, all the nature scenes I thought were really well done. They put a lot of work into like kind of painting the nature of it, like the majesty of it all. You know, that scene where they're like running through the snow.
Yeah, it was
very
really
well done.
pretty.
Beautiful.
Very
That was
well
actually
done.
mine. Yeah, that was.
And
what I'm
this
going
is
with.
why Yuki's story is like, I guess, in writing, like an interesting plot. But to me, Ame's story was a little bit more interesting because just him like kind of like getting in touch with his wild side, in which it seems very much like the whole movie was like, don't do that, like don't you know, like you should suppress this side of yourself because you don't want to get killed or whatever.
Well, because like there's that moment when they're very young where he's crying to his mom and he's just like, the wolves are always portrayed as bad guys and they people always
that's
kill them in
sad.
the end,
Yeah.
and he's like, I don't want to be a wolf if that means I'm gonna be a bad guy.
Yeah.
That part I almost cried. I was like, that is so sad.
But all those scenes I feel like were very well done. Like his little like running around the forest with master montage.
Yes.
Excellent.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that one too.
So the way that he created those scenes too, just like the camera moves of, especially in the one that left a really big impression. He has a lot of these like kind of
Cinematic.
these cinematic, like almost, they're gimmicky, but like in a very dramatic way, which I like. It's almost corny to a certain extent. But you know when the curtain is waving and she like switches from like
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
you're like, oh,
That's a trope, but I love that.
It's
Yeah, I
so
love that
good.
joke though.
I still really like
Are you
that.
in a school? Is there a curtain? It's gonna blow on you, bitch.
And you turn to a wolf.
so seductive.
Yeah.
You know, like but I think it's definitely he even in all his other movies like Summer Wars, he has a lot of those moments too. Like Boy and the Beast, all the dramatic moments definitely has still that like flavor. you
It's
know?
funny because it is very obvious, but at the same time, you're like, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Also, the
fair.
music
You know
is
it's
just like
coming.
perfect.
Not all tropes are bad guys.
Yeah.
Just embrace the tropes.
Yeah, I'm gonna tag on to that scene where they're running through the snow. Absolutely beautiful. Loved it. And I will say, just because we have the same moment, is at the end of it all, and they're like laying down in the snow for a second. My thought was, damn, that's a long walk back home.
Yeah, I was
That
like,
is
this
a
bitch can't turn into a
cold
wolf.
walk.
How'd she make it all the way out here?
She's probably got some legs though. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Probably, like,
That was
squat
my
legs.
thought. I was like, gosh,
Also,
she's
like,
gonna be exhausted.
When they're all
tomorrow.
laying there in the snow and they're all, I'm like, they're butt naked. Aren't they cold?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Wolves.
wolves.
I mean, like,
It's like,
I guess
how's
that
this
doesn't
kid not
matter,
dead from
yeah.
We're
hypothermia?
short on time. I want to hear how some of our. Do we have any favorite?
We
favorite
had
moments?
Dina Sunrisa said she also liked when they're running through the snow is her favorite
Yeah.
part, and then an Asian bro skill 21
Nice name,
name.
Asian
liked
bro
when
skill.
I think he means when the guy turned when her husband turns his back in the dream and turns back into a wolf. He liked that scene, I think, or he or she
We
liked that
forgot
scene.
about that. Yeah.
Bro, I guess is the guy. I really like that the father kind of came back for a bit.
Yeah.
Be like, hey.
I thought
You're
she was
always
like
thinking about
she was
me.
like straight up dead, and she was just like, "Oh, I'm done now, I guess." Like, we can just go
I was
have
like,
it
should I
together.
just kill
like,
her? That'd be crazy.
yeah, it's like, oh, they're fine. They're like
Yeah.
older children now. It's like, no, they're 10.
We've watched too much
11.
anime. We're like, oh, they're gonna kill main characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just kind of,
They're
it's
about
just
the
kind of
Game
what
of
has to be done.
Thrones, sir.
Yeah. Just kill them off. Instant drama. Welcome to your Disney movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Then it's time to do our rating system.
Our
Here
Roman
are
rating
thumbs.
system,
Ready?
yes.
All right, here we go,
Right.
you guys. On the
Count of
count of
three.
3, we're gonna give this movie either a thumbs up or thumbs down. All of us. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Boy.
That's you guys at home.
Definitely,
You should-
definitely.
people
clap.
should watch
Definitely watch it.
It's not what you
Yes.
expect, but it's a very beautiful movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
All of his movies are very much within the same vein of like really fun, energetic melancholy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the
You're gonna
most
think
part.
some feels.
And
Feels
I
some
would
feels.
say, I mean, this is a man who's got 4 out, 4 directed and co-writer of this
Mm-hmm.
one. You got to watch his stuff. Watch
Yeah, his
all
stuff
of
is
his
amazing,
films. Yeah, the only one
Watch
I haven't
Girl
seen
After
is
Time.
Girl.
Yeah.
And so-
Watch Summer
Summer
Wars,
Wars.
especially. I think Summer Wars is kind of like the
big one.
that
Mm-hmm.
he started off with, like the one that he's known for. Well, Girl Who Left Through Time technically as well.
Boy and the Beast is
Boy and the Beast.
Yeah,
Boy and the
Very
Beast.
good. Yeah.
And Wolf Children is definitely a different feel, different style. It's a different. I mean, I keep saying it's slice of life, but it's something that'll be really cool for you guys to check out. Make sure you're in the mood for it because it is going to be like a slower
Get
night.
some wine out, bitches.
Yeah,
And
glass of wine.
not to ruin the mood, just ignore the fact that their mouths are too big. you'll like
Oh
you'll
no!
like the
Why
movie.
did you mention it?
You'll like the
That's the
movie
style, though.
way more better.
It's kind of like Ghibli, where like everyone their faces all look the same.
Yeah,
it's like kind of it's like the style.
I get
he's
that,
chosen.
but sometimes her mouth was just way too
It's
big
like
for
half
my
her
liking.
face.
She looked like a human frog, and I was just like, this is a dramatic scene, I know, but you could like fit a whole sedan in
All
that.
right,
So.
it's that.
All right, everyone. Next week we are doing whose pick is it next week?
Max.
It's my pick, and I don't know yet.
Oh,
So see you
TBD.
next week. It'll be a great surprise.
My name is Jonathan. You can find me all over the interwebs at KaibaCat, K-I-B-A-C-A-T.
I'm Maxwell Song, and you can find me at Max Salt at everything.
And I'm Yume. You can find me everywhere at Yume Ninja.
And I'm Michelle Chubby Bunny. You can find me everywhere on the internet at I am Chubby Bunny, and you can follow my dog at Noogie the Pup.
Yes.
Plug that dog. Plug
Plug the
that
dog.
All right, you guys, that's all the time we have for today. So you will see you guys next week with Max's pick. Until then, peace.
Adieu.
Bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.